Perks game real quick with JC Packers Saints. Let me get a second to post this in the Discord, you know. Go to the pull up real quick. Sir. I'll do this a second.
Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it. And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice.
I gotta do my scouting. I didn't even scout yet. Give me a second. Rover's in here. Just give it a second. We're gonna wait till it's gonna fill up a little bit. Yeah, we're gonna take off. We supposed to do this yesterday. Well, no shit, Sherlock was playing Friday. You know what I mean? Why is his name All Stars? I don't understand that. Go over how I shit on you. Hey, fuck you, pal, okay? I wasn't in the mood to play. I knew I shouldn't have played that game. I should just waited till tomorrow, but you were like, oh, I'll be home in 10 minutes. And I was like, alright. But no, you got that game fair and square. Nah, you were clamping on Dito. I will give you that. You was clamping the fuck up. Alright, if you hear that in the background, I'm just watching Perks and JC game. I tried to fix it, it wasn't letting me. What are you talking about? Alright, man, I ain't gonna waste no time because www. Yeah, spam W in the chat, you know. Show some love, you know. You know. Alright, man. Alright, you know how we do things. We're gonna pop it off right. We're gonna do things exactly as it's supposed to be, you know what I mean? Yeah, see that top left 35 50. Yo, fuck you, pal, okay? Fuck you, pal. I don't like your negativity. Alright, but we're gonna set things off right, man. We're gonna set things off right. Yes, sir, we back. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in. It's the MBL Week 1 and 2 official league recap. We're gonna go over all the games, all the high performances, all the lowlights, the highlights, all the stats, the statistics, who's been the best for the first 2 weeks. And of course, we're gonna go into a couple games that have been played in Week 3 so far, give a couple predictions of games that haven't been played, and of course, look forward into the future for Week 4 and beyond. Of course, it's your host with the most, Boogie by Jay, aka that boy that be up in your girl coochie, aka I break in the door, I fuck all the whores, you know? Yeah, bro, let me stop playing, but we about to get into it, bro. You know, I know it's been long awaited. Thank you guys for tuning in. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. You know, show some boys some love, you know. I really appreciate it, you know. I always do these live streams. I don't play Madden, you know what I mean? I shoot niggas too, you know. So, without further ado, I ain't gonna delay this. We're gonna jump right into things, you feel me? Thank you, Cameron. I don't know who you are, but, thank you. I appreciate the love, my guy. Without further ado, of course, we gotta set things off right. Thursday night football, the first game of the year. The defending Super Bowl champions, don't know how to say his username, but the Kansas City Chiefs defending home territory against its C-Bop YouTube of the Houston Texans. And man, let me tell you firsthand, the Texans, they're not to be played with, especially with that explosive offense with Will Fuller and Brandon Cooks. Yeah, don't mess with that user, for real. Because as you see here, obviously heading into halftime, Houston surprisingly up 21-10, and it just stayed like that the rest of the way. Scoreless fourth quarter for both teams, as Houston surprisingly beating Super Bowl defending champions 35-24. Deshaun Watson, perfect game for him, 240, 4 touchdowns. Don't mess with me, dog. You see, I tell you, talking this shit, man. Listen to the kid. 240, 4 touchdowns, a QBR of 158, just only 10 completions. Yeah, that's absurd. He has more touchdowns than incomplete passes. Absolutely dotting people up their first 2 weeks. Pat Mahomes, best game of the season, as you'll see, because the next 2 weeks have not been kind to the Chiefs. 289, 2 touchdowns, 26-34. Try to hang in there. But so you go here to the Russian Dalvin Cook. I don't think he was on the Chiefs at this point in the season. He was on Minnesota week 1. But 14 carries, 64 yards, 2 touchdowns for him. Watson fumbling twice. Not something of his character, you know. Clyde Edwards-Helaire getting the touchdown, his first start. And Pat Mahomes also getting a fumble as well. But B. Cooks, 4 catches, a $113 to the crib, and 2 touchdowns. A.J. Green coming over from the Cincinnati Bengals, who was surprisingly cut. I know a lot of people, how do you feel about A.J. Green, but I'm not an A.J. Green believer myself. I played with him before. He's just not my cup of tea, bro. He's not my cup of tea. But in this one, 3 catches, a $108, and a touchdown. Texans using him to his best abilities. Travis Kelce just doing Travis Kelce things. 10 catches, a $107, and a touchdown. A-Rob, 2 for 71, and Darren Fells getting into the end zone as well. Other than that, leading the way is Justin Reed with 11 total tackles. Bernardrick McKinney, Keon Cresson, Jacob Martin, and J.J. Watt all with sacks in this one, as Kansas City not able to gain any pressure whatsoever on Deshaun Watson. No picks as well for either team. Other than that, Whitney Merciless to the crib with the lone defensive touchdown in this one that definitely made the difference. Well played game by the Houston Texans as they beat the Super Bowl defending champions. And Kansas City, as you'll see as we get into week 2, one of the more disappointing teams so far this season. As we see here, this game here, I'm a realist. I keep things real. And we all know what happened here. The Discord almost got burned down. But, yeah. Alt Chaos, 97, the Seattle Seahawks taking on Devin of the Atlanta Falcons. And let's just say the game was way further apart than what the score indicates here, as Falcons take home the force win 28-21. But if you know the backstory, I won't get that much into it, but this was not the score indicated, and stats were missed out on this one. /21R, the Philadelphia Eagles taking on Comet Family of the Washington Football Team, another force win. Neither team surprisingly didn't play this one, as Washington takes home the home win 27-10 against the Philadelphia Eagles. This one says played. I'm gonna assume this was played. If it's a force win or a fair sim, I don't go over the stats. So please play your games if you want me to get in depth and go over your team. Dog shit game. I had to get my force loss week 1. Go easy, my G. Vikings. Oh, he's Vikings. All right. At least we know who you are. You got clapped. Who got clapped? You talking about Lewis? Let's see here. Exotic Viper YouTube of the Miami Dolphins taking on Recon's Pain of the New England Patriots. It says force win here, but you know we're gonna dive into the stats. It said it was played as just Miami ruthless against the Patriots. Patriots did not have an answer as Tua just went off. 284 touchdowns despite the lone interception. A QBR of 139 just dotting as Cam Newton struggling all over the place. 1 touchdown, 3 picks, a $184, just not a very good Cam game. Matt Breida, of course, the stretch god, if you know that. 16 carries, a $114, and a touchdown to the crib. Sony Michel getting into the end zone as well as Tua. So Tua had a 5-touchdown game. Surprising how he didn't get Player of the Week for Week 1. Jakeem Grant, 6 catches, a $118 to the crib. Antonio Brown, who's age reset. Be on the lookout for him. You see, Braden knows. Matt Breida, stretch guy. AB, 5, a $108, and 2 touchdowns for him as well. Other than that, New England really quiet despite Sony Michel getting to the end zone twice. Sack-wise, Emmanuel Agba with the most sacks in this one. 2 sacks for him. Jason McCourty, David Gotcha, I'm guessing, Christian Wilkinson and Kyle Van Noy all applying pressure in this one. As for Jerome Baker, Xavier Howard, and Noah Igbenogany, all with interceptions for the Miami Dolphins. As this is a bad L. This is a bad L for New England, but hopefully they'll be able to turn things away as Miami looking like a force in the AFC to be reckoned with. Another force win for Perk, of course. Not sure why this game wasn't played, but of course Perk takes home the win, 42-17 against the Miami Vikings. What the fuck's wrong with me? The Minnesota Vikings. As Packers go 1-0 in the NFC North. As we go here, Commissioner going up against Peace, the G of the Indianapolis Colts. Very high scoring game here. Very, very high scoring shootout in Duval County. But we'll see how things rocked out as Indianapolis dropping 14 ruthlessly. 2 touchdown average per quarter until it got into the fourth quarter. Braden kind of tightened up, but it just wasn't enough. It was too little, too late. 45-35 final score here in Duval County. Both guys just picks galore. 303, 5 touchdowns, 3 picks for the future Hall of Famer Phillip Rivers. Gardner Minshew, 426, 3 touchdowns, 6 INTs, 18 of 31. Minshew, if he would just cut down on the turnovers, possibly could have pulled out a W in this one. But as you'll see later in the recap, Minshew does turn things around in weeks to come. Jonathan Taylor, 17-69 in his first start out of Wisconsin. Other than that, Jacksonville just absolutely abandoning the run. It was all Minshew in this one, despite the 2 goal line touchdowns for Kalen Ballage of all people. Paris Campbell, player of the game, 5 catches, 201, 4 touchdowns. I'm not sure if he was player of the week, but those are definitely player of the week numbers for the second-year wideout out of Ohio State. DJ Chark, 7 catches, $187 and touchdown to the crib. Robbie Anderson coming over from the Carolina Panthers, 5 for $116 and touchdowns. And T.Y. Hilton getting into the end zone as well as Laviska Shenault, 2nd-round pick out of Colorado. Other than that, EJ Speed of all people, he living up to his name. The guy has speed. You best from the motherfucker. 3 sacks for him. Leon Jacobs, Adam Gotsis, Joe Sherber, and Bobby Okiki, as I like to call him, all with sacks in this one. Xavier Rhodes, Chris Claybrooks, and Kenny Moore, all with multiple picks in this one. Cyrus Jones, Malik Hooker, and Julian Blackman, all coming away with picks as well. And the lone defensive touchdown in this game, Malik Hooker taking it to the crib. Oh, okay. So, did JC beat Perk? Because I was watching the game, and Perk, he was kind of selling, bro. He was up 14-7, and then all of a sudden it's 21-14 right before the halftime. So, you got to let me know what's up with that. Alright, as you know, Snow Machine 12, a.k.a. Logan the Faggot of the Chicago Bears, taking on Gakwe of the Detroit Lions. Not much of a competition here, as Detroit probably has the not sure how to put this, the worst roster in the entire NFL, talent-wise. He conceded. Wow, Perk, come on, bro. Take your L, man. Take your L. You got a super team, and you were talking about you got the best defense. I'm going to talk my shit. So you deserve to get shitted on, man. You got to live up to your name. By the way, after advance, ask for Mahomes. Ask for Mahomes. Because I played my game, and I was like, you don't have Mahomes this week, so, yeah. Other than that, just look what Logan did. Halftime, 27-7. He decides to double the points he had in the first half. Put them all in the fourth quarter. 27 points alone in the fourth. 54-7. Just absolutely shellacking on the road in Detroit. As Mitchell Trubisky, or Money Mitch, as they like to call him, QBR 155. 225 passing, 6 touchdowns. Once again, more touchdowns than incomplete passes in this one. And Ryan Tannehill, who I believe is age reset, with abilities as well, absolutely struggled all the way around. QBR 49, $184, a touchdown, 6 interceptions, just under duress the entire game, just couldn't do anything. Nick Chubb as well, eating, 19 carries, $151, 2 touchdowns for him. Why would Cleveland give him up? Who the fuck knows? But it's too late for that. Ryan Tannehill also with a fumble in this one, which makes a total of 7 turnovers for him. Probably the worst performance all of week 1. Sorry, Detroit Lions. Anthony Miller, 3 catches, a buck 101, 2 touchdowns to the crib. Nick Chubb, 3 touchdowns on the ground. Was it 3 touchdowns? No, there's 2 touchdowns on the ground, 2 touchdowns through the air. Nick Chubb absolutely going off. Jamal Agnew taking it to the crib, as well as Cole Kmet and Javon Wims of all people. Yeah, this complete. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this game. Completely one-sided. Khalil Mack, 4 sacks as well. I think he was Defensive Player of the Week for Week 1. Tracy Walker, Romeo Aquara, lone sacks for the Detroit Lions. Greedy Williams coming over in the Nick Chubb trade as well. Eddie Jackson, Buster Screen. Yeah, just Buster Screen. We'll get into that. But Deshaun Gibson, all with picks in this one, as Detroit just couldn't muster up anything whatsoever on both sides of the ball. Looks like a long rebuilding year for them, unless they're somehow able to turn things around. Big win for the Chicago Bears to start off the season. Buster Screen Defensive Player of the Year. Yeah, go suck a dick, pal. LSS Bang YouTube of the Cleveland Browns taking on, of course, Boogie by J1. You know, I don't mean to flaunt, but, you know, he takes me on. And, yeah, you know, I had to hold down home turf for the Be More Ravens, you know what I mean? And just as you see how it went here, yeah, 34-7 at halftime. And final score here, 48-14. Not going to spend too much time on this game. But Lamar Jackson, 352, 4 touchdowns, 1 pick, just dotting. Entire game. Baker Mayfield, 252, 2 touchdowns, 5 picks, struggling all around. Just couldn't get anything going as they completely abandoned the run game here. Kareem Hunt shut down. J.K. Dobbins doing all right, but Lamar Jackson, 4 through the air, 2 on the ground, earning him Defensive Player of the Week honors. Offensive Player of the Week honors for the AFC in Week 1. Mark Andrews going off as well. 5 catches, a buck 69, 2 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill just peppered him all game, but he put up his numbers. 11 catches, a buck 49, and a touchdown. CeeDee Lamb, 4 for 100 and a tutty as well. Hollywood Brown getting to the end zone as well. Kareem Hunt couldn't do anything on the ground, but got it done through the air as well. Other than that, I mean, sack-wise, Pernell McPhee, Calais Campbell with the only sacks in this one. Jimmy Smith, Deshaun Elliott, Chuck Clark, and Marlon Humphrey, all with picks for the Baltimore Ravens in this one, as well as C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming over from the New Orleans Saints with the lone pick for the Cleveland Browns. Deshaun Elliott taking it to the house as well. Other than that, Cody Parkey with the lone missed field goal as Baltimore improves to 1-0 in the AFC North to start off the season. Forced win, as indicated here, for the Buffalo Bills, lethal THF, 17-14 win, which is kind of surprising, a very close game. Not sure what happened here. I think they played this game here. Think there was a little connection issue. Decisive kept lagging out, but he was able to get the job done here. 21-14 as we dive here into the stats, putting up all his points in the first quarter. Carolina just did not have an answer against the Oakland Raiders offense. This is probably why you should not trade away all your receivers and the best running back in the game, CMC. Derek Carr, buck 45, a touchdown in the INT, 7-10. Matt Stafford coming over from Detroit, a buck 63, a touchdown, and 3 INTs. Just did not do his team any justice in this one. Jason Huntley surprisingly gets the start over Josh Jacobs. Don't know why, but 14 carries, 58 yards, and a touchdown. Austin Eckler coming over from the Chargers in this first start. 3 carries, 23 yards, and a touchdown as well. Receiving-wise, DJ Moore having to carry the load, but there wasn't much of a load to carry. 3 catches, 99 yards, as Dan Chichenya surprisingly dropped from the Minnesota Vikings speedster. 3 catches, 93 yards, and a touchdown. Deontay Harris with a touchdown as well. If we go here to the sack column, Miles Jack, surprisingly. I would never move Miles Jack because he's probably the best cover linebacker in the entire game. But, yeah, lone sack in this one for him. Jonathan Abram with 2 picks as well. Dante Jackson, of course. And Dylan Mabin. All picks in this one. And Jonathan Abram, lone defensive touchdown, which definitely made the difference in this 21-14 win on the road in Carolina for the Oakland Raiders. Well, Las Vegas Raiders, but, you know, it's getting weird to get used to. As we go here, not gonna really dive into this one because surprisingly, Cincinnati Bengals user kind of left. So if you know anybody who's willing to take the Cincinnati Bengals, who's active, who's willing to play, and yeah, committed, invite them to the Discord. Just make sure they're not cheaters or of course, toxic. Other than that, Cincinnati dropping 28 in the first quarter. Halftime 28-17 as Chargers just fighting their way back the entire game, but it just wasn't enough as Cincinnati just piled on more in the fourth quarter, dropping 13. Joe Burrow 2 for 2, Herbert 2 for 4 as well. Both rookies kind of having their welcome to the NFL moments. Josh Kelly 2 touchdowns as well from the goal line. Joe Mixon with a touchdown as well. Alden Tate just going off. 7 catches, $132. Keenan Allen 3 for 127 in a tutty. Tyler Boyd 6 for 87 in a tutty, and Mike Williams with a touchdown as well. Not a lot of tackling in this one. All just the highest leading tackler, Derwin James, with 5. Other than that, pick wise, AJ Moore, Darius Phillips, Derwin James, Prince Amukamara, all with picks in this one. Sack wise, DJ Reader with a sack and a half. Melvin Ingram with a sack, and Darius Phillips and Sam Hubbard combining for half a sack. Other than that, AJ Moore, I'm pretty sure he won Defensive Player of the Week with 2 defensive touchdowns. JC the GOAT. What was this? Yeah, I gotta look into the score of that game once we get to week 3. But that might have been an upset. Other than that, almost done with week 1 here. So we're gonna get into week 2 pretty soon. Exotic Splashy of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on Hunter JC of the New Orleans Saints. And JC dropping 48 points, majority of his points coming up into the fourth quarter, dropping 21. Halftime, it was tied 17-17 apiece, but Tampa Bay just could not keep up with the lethal offense that is the New Orleans Saints. Jalen Hurts, 426, 4 touchdowns, 3 INTs, 17 of 28. As for Tom Brady, the GOAT, struggled in this one. 306, 2 touchdowns, 4 picks, much like he did in real life week 1 against the New Orleans Saints. Jalen Hurts, 7 carries, 68 yards, 2 touchdowns. So that's total 5 touchdowns for him. Congratulations to Jalen Hurts. Other than that, James Robinson had a pretty good yards per carry clip, and Ronald Jones getting to the end zone as well. Chris Godwin, 5 catches, $157 in a tutty. Marquez Valdez-Scantling surprisingly traded from the Green Bay Packers, paying dividends immediately. 3 catches, $152. That's all he needed. An average of 50.7 per clip. Mike Evans, 1 long bomb for 56. Gronkowski getting to the end zone as well. Christian Kirk, and of course Latavius Murray, because why not? Sack-wise, Marcus Davenport, Cameron Jordan, of course that lethal combination on the D-line, getting a sack apiece. Deion Buchanan, Anthony Nelson with half a sack for the Tampa Bay Bucks. Levante David, Antoine Winfield, who was traded from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, surprisingly. Kind of a revenge game immediately in his first start. Gets a pick, proving them, hey, motherfucker, you shouldn't have traded me. Sean Murphy Bunting with a pick. Devin White, Malcolm Jenkins, and of course, Shaq Barrett, because why not? Other than that, we're going to go here to the defensive touchdowns. No defensive touchdowns in here. It was a complete shootout from both ends. But, like I said, Tampa just couldn't keep pace as Saints improved to 1-0 in the NFC South. Okay. 4 games left here in week 1. Is about to hop into week 2. I'm lagging, swear to God, of the Arizona Cardinals taking on King John 305. And a lot of talk. I haven't played King John yet, but a lot of talk from what I've been hearing, what I've been seeing, of course. He's kind of a user to watch out for in the NFC. 45-10 here. Final score. Jared Goff didn't really do much here. Kind of a big running performance for him with Raheem Mostert. 219, 1 for 1 in this one. But Kyler Murray just struggled immensely behind the offensive line. Just pressured all day by the D-line with the Niners. 282, a touchdown, but 6 interceptions, 4 sacks. Someone give that man some help. But Raheem Mostert, I believe, player of the week for week 1. 19 carries, $166, and 4 touchdowns. Congratulations to King John. Other than that, the Cardinals were down for the majority of the game, so they absolutely abandoned the run game. D-Hop, though, 4 for $111, Raheem Mostert almost getting 100 through the air as well. 4 for 88. Curtis Samuel leading the way for the Cardinals, 3 for 80. But other than that, very quiet game for both teams through the air. This is Brandon Ayuk with his lone catch for a touchdown. Sack-wise, Budda Baker leading the way for the tackles. Sack-wise, Nick Bosa with 3, of course. Jaquiski Tart, Chris Jones coming over from the Kansas City Chiefs, surprisingly. And Hassan Reddick, all with sacks as well. Dre Greenlaw with 2 apiece. Quan Williams, Devondre Campbell, Mark Nizocha, and Richard Sherman, Cash Malua. All flown interceptions as well. Dre Greenlaw is taking the crib as well. I mean, Niners absolutely did it all, man. He's kind of a user who made a big statement. Kind of a guy you need to look out for if you're in the NFC. If you come across him or if he's on your schedule, keep an eye out for King John. Spazin, AGNL of the Dallas Cowboys, taking on retired snags of the LA Ram. And not sure what happened in this one, but wow. Cowboys. I mean, I know me and him made a trade. I gave him Marcus Peters. Well, in hindsight, it might have been a mistake. But I kind of got CeeDee Lamb. I got to get Lamar Jackson some weapons. But Marcus Peters paid dividends immediately, being off Defensive Player of the Week for the NFC in Week 1. Halftime, 24-14. And just the rest of the way, second half, Rams just did not have an answer, scoring up against the Dallas defense. 48-14, final score in LA. Colin Kaepernick, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks, 262. And Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah, he's a good backup quarterback, but as far as starter, you're going to struggle every time with him. 15-25, 5 picks, could not get into the end zone for his life. Zeke Elliott, 21 carries, 78 yards, 2 touchdowns. It's for CMC, 11 for 34, 2 touchdowns as well. Bro, imagine if I win in the tourney. 88 speed, X Factor, Money Mitch. AIDS, Logan, AIDS. Adam Thielen, 4 catches, $152 and 2 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp going over 100 as well. Other than that, Michael Gallup getting to the end zone, and it's pretty quiet throughout the air in this one. As we go to Marcus Peters, just player of the game for Dallas overall for both teams. 6 tackles, 3 INTs. As for defensive touchdowns, he was able to take one to the crib. Defensive player of the week for the NFC, if I haven't already said so. Sean Lee, Montez Sweat, surprisingly, coming over from the Washington football team. And Jalen Smith and Anthony Brown, all with sacks as well. Other than that, Troy Hill getting multiple picks for his team. Anthony Brown, Leighton Vander Esch. And that about says it. Hopefully Rams bounce back, because I know he's a pretty good user, but this was a surprising blowout. As we go here to a very close one in the Monday night doubleheader. Captain Hot Rod of the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Cloaker of the New York Giants. And Pittsburgh surprisingly upset 29-14 in the Meadowlands, dropping 21 in the first half. Yeah, they were up. They were up 21-14, but other than that, Giants staged a late game comeback, dropping 13 in the fourth quarter to pull away. Pick fest. Jesus Christ, what happened on both sides of the ball? 426, 4 touchdowns, 9 interceptions, total of 9 picks, 21-36. I don't know how you win a game throwing 9 interceptions, but Daniel Jones somehow did it. And he also pulled off a QBR of 97 with 9 INTs. Don't know how you did that. Jesus Christ, pick fest. This could be a record. So far for this league, this could be a record for most picks thrown in a game. Both sides of the ball, 16 picks. Write it down, take notes. Big Ben, 209, 3 touchdowns, but 7 picks from him as well. Yeah, this game would have been fun to watch on stream. Saquon kind of didn't really get anything going on the ground in this one. 13 for 56, leading the way for both teams. James Conner for 36 yards. Other than that, Daniel Jones, not only did he get it done through the air, but he also got into the end zone as well. Darius Slayton, 6 catches, $120 and a touchdown. Sterling Shepard, 116 yards and 2 touchdowns. Ebron almost cracking 100, as well as Saquon. Golden Tate gets into the end zone, as well as Chase Claypool with 2 as well in his first NFL start, and Deontay Johnson with a touchdown as well. I mean, with as good as the defense as the Pittsburgh Steelers have, this is kind of surprising. It's not surprising that they were able to force 9 turnovers, but to lose this game, wow. 10 tackles from Minka Fitzpatrick leading the way for both teams. Sack-wise, 2 sacks for Leonard Williams and a sack for TJ Watt, of course. Other than that, Jabril Peppers with 3 picks, Minka Fitzpatrick, Mike Hilton, James Bradbury, and Joe Hayden all with deuce. Terrell Edmonds, Lorenzo Carter, Vince Williams, Steven Nelson, and Logan Ryan to round it out in the pick department for both teams. Absolute pick fest, as well as Mike Hilton taking all those out of all those picks, only 1 defensive touchdown. Kind of surprising. Kicking wise, not a single field goal attempted in this one. Yeah, great win for the New York Giants, but you're not going to win every week throwing 9 picks. But good way to start off the NFC East this season. Blood Assassin 81 of the Tennessee Titans taking on Islamel of the Denver Broncos in the final Monday night doubleheader late game. Very close one here. As you see here, halftime 28-7, but Denver staging a late game comeback just is too little too late. Is the first half bit them in the ass. 42-35 final score here in Denver. Drew Lock 357, 3 touchdowns, 5 INTs. Those early first half interceptions definitely killed him. Jordan Love coming over from the Green Bay Packers as the Ryan Tannehill got shipped to Detroit. A lot of QB carousel happened so far in this first 2 weeks. Kind of surprising. But 302, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. A pretty so-so game for the first round pick out of Utah State. Derrick Henry, 20 totes, a $155, and 2 touchdowns. Of course, what do you expect? Jordan Love getting to the end zone as well on the ground, despite the fumble. Other than that, receiving wise, Cortland Sutton 3 for $116, AJ Brown 3 for 84 and a tutty. Derrick Henry getting it done on the ground as well, over 200 yards total for him in this one. TJ Hawkinson coming over from Detroit as well, getting into the end zone, as well as Tim Patrick. Other than that, I mean, sack-wise, of course, Jadeveon Clowney with 3 sacks in this one. Kenny Clark coming over from Green Bay in the Jerry Jeudy trade. Shelby Harris with a sack. Josie Jewell. And no Von Miller. What kind of happened? No Von Miller, no Bradley Chubb. Denver was not able to generate any pressure on Jordan Love whatsoever due to them countering with Derrick Henry, of course. Jeff Okudah coming over in the Detroit trade with Matt Stafford and Ryan Tannehill. 3 picks showing Detroit, you done fucked up again. Bryce Callahan with 2 picks. Kareem Jackson. Whoa. Bryce Callahan with 2 picks. That's absurd. 2 picks. But his interception return yards are 200. Because he has 200-yard interception returns. That's absolutely absurd. I'm pretty sure he won AFC Defensive Player of the Week honors. That's a challenge. See if you could top that. Can anybody top 200 interception return yards in a single game? I don't think it could be done. So if you could prove me wrong, go ahead. Kareem Jackson, Dane Cruikshank, and Christian Fulton all with picks as well in this one. I mean, kicking wise, no, that's about it. But tough fought victory for the Tennessee Titans and Derrick Henry, of course. As we go on the week 2, we're going to get right into it, folks. As you see here, I'm not sure why Cincinnati left. He seemed like a pretty good user. Actually laid a whooping in week 1. And, of course, it just did not stop in week 2. 56-10 final score here in Cleveland. As Cleveland just not looking good, man. Very talented roster, but, man, did they trade away a lot of their pieces. Not sure what happened in Cleveland, but looks like to be a rebuilding year. Unless they somehow get a new playbook and just turn things around. Not going to dive into the stats there. Cloaker, New York Giants, takes on Snow Machine 12, the Chicago Bears. We saw last week, Money Mitch won Player of the Week last year, dropping 6 tutties. Cloaker, somehow found a way, 34-29 win over the Pittsburgh Steelers on Monday Night Football. Like I said, if you don't cut down on the turnovers, you're not going to win like that every week. And Logan just absolutely showed him wrong. I mean, halftime, 21-10, Going to the second half, dropping 28, of course. Final score here in Chicago Soldier Field, 49-10. He didn't win Player of the Week. Who are you talking about, Bryce Callahan? Yeah, I'm pretty sure he didn't because I don't remember seeing his name, but 200 interception return yards. Jesus Christ. What else do you have to do? Mitch Trubisky keeping it perfect through his first 2 weeks. Just 9 touchdowns to 0 INTs as well. 250, 3 touchdowns. 22 of 25, 3 touchdowns, 3 incomplete passes. Absolutely absurd what Bunny Mitch is doing through his first 2 weeks. Oh, yeah, Raheem Mostert did win it. He was robbed. Yeah, that's... I mean, it's harder to run on the ground. It's way easier to pass, so that they probably credit that more. But Danny Dimes, like I said, 9 interceptions in week 1, 5 INTs in week 2, total of 14 through 2 weeks. Giants might want to pick a new playbook, bro. QBR of 32.5, probably the lowest this entire season. Buck 74, 1 touchdown, 5 INTs for him. Nick Chubb, 17 to 72 and a touchdown. Saquon doing a little damage. They should have balanced it out with him more. Mitchell Trubisky, 3 touchdowns through the air, 1 on the ground. Darnell Mooney, 6 catches at buck 12. Darius Slayton, 86 to the crib. Other than that, Nick Chubb getting it on the ground, getting it through the air is 2 touchdowns for him, and Cole Kmet as well. Other than that, Blake Martinez leading the way in tackles for both teams. Robert Quinn with 2 sacks. Khalil Mack getting it done. Buster Screen, 2 INTs. Greedy Williams, Landon Collins, and of course, Artie Burns. And Buster Screen, somehow, of all people, Buster Screen won Defensive Player of the Week for week 2, so congratulations to Logan. As, NFC North kind of put on notice these first 2 weeks. Can anybody stop Money Mitch in that division? It's going to be interesting once Perk and Logan play. I will say that. As we go on to week 3, Big B stats, 86. Losing a very hard-fought game last week. 45-35, but they kind of turned things around this way. Blood Assassin, very strong game out of Derrick Henry in week 1. But, not sure here, but the box score is kind of broke here. So we're just going to kind of predict that both teams kind of put the y'all into the fourth quarter. Other than that, 21-17 win in Duval. Nah. This was a road game. I'm tired, guys. Don't fucking blame me. Let me get a water break real quick. Okay, that was awkward. Jordan Love, 219, 2 touchdowns and a pick for him, 17 of 21. As he improves every week steadily. Gardner Minshew, 285, a touchdown and a pick as well. 21 to 22, just accurate. The accuracy in this one. 95 completion rate for him. Derrick Henry went off in week 1, absolutely boxed by the Jacksonville Jaguars. 8 for 47 and no touchdowns. Kalen Ballage, 9 for 34 and tutty as well. 3 touchdowns in 2 weeks for Ballage. Other than that, Chris Thompson getting to the end zone as well. Robbie Anderson, 6 for $155 and a touchdown, going off these first 2 weeks. A.J. Brown, only 2 catches, but 77 yards and a touchdown, making them count. Very quiet game for both teams through the air. T.J. Hawkinson getting into the end zone as well. Very low-scoring game, very defensive game, might I say. No sacks in this one, as neither team was able to generate any pressure. But leading away in tackles for both teams is Dane Cruikshank with 7. INT-wise, Malcolm Butler, Josiah Scott with the lone picks in this one. No defensive touchdowns. Very hard-fought victory. Much-needed win for the Jacksonville Jaguars as they even out to 1-1, as well as the Tennessee Titans 1-1 as well. As we go to Tampa Bay, free damp donut of the Carolina Panthers taking on Exotic Splashy and Envy. For all the shit you talk, you got your asshole blown out, bro. Pause. Tampa just absolutely murked you. 34-14 here, final score here in Tampa. I mean, Brady, very bad game in week 1 against the New Orleans Saints. Turned things around very easily. 420. 420 kind of smoked your ass. 4 touchdowns, 2 INTs, 22 of 35, but Matt Stafford struggled a lot in this one. 326, 2 touchdowns, but 3 INTs. Certainly made the difference in this one. Ronald Jones getting it done, almost 100 yards, 89 yards, and a touchdown. Austin Eckler should have fed him a little bit more, and Matthew Stafford with a fumble as well. O.J. Howard somehow 9 catches, 204, and 2 touchdowns for him, just finding space in that secondary. DJ Moore 8 for $167 and a touchdown. Mike Evans for 107 and a tutty. Chris Godwin almost cracks 100 yards. Deontay Harris of all people 80 yards and a touchdown. And Ronald Jones getting in the end zone as well through the air. Other than that, Taylor Rapp coming over from the LA Rams, leading away in tackles with 6. Sack-wise, JPP, Ndamukong, Miles Jack, and Shaq Barrett, all with sacks. Single-digit sacks, might I say, in this one. Dante Jackson, back-to-back weeks with picks. Marcus Williams with a pick. Devin White. Marshawn Lattimore surprisingly traded from the New Orleans Saints. And Chris Westry, all with picks in this one as well. No defensive touchdowns. Nah, surprisingly not. Other than that, much needed victory for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as they go 1-1. Carolina kind of struggling, but hopefully they could turn things around. 7-10 game here. Probably the lowest scoring game this whole entire year. Islamel of the Denver Broncos. Week 1, just couldn't get the job done in week 2. I mean, look at the Steelers. Another team that was struggling. I mean, Denver, 7 points in the third quarter. Coming in the fourth quarter, Pittsburgh was able to pull out the W with 10 points. I mean, a much better game for Big Ben. I mean, despite him being 15 to 25 and being under duress with 6 sacks on him, $157 and a touchdown, and he was able to learn from his lesson and protect the football as he gets a lone touchdown, which definitely made the difference in this one. Drew Lock, $136, cut down on the turnovers as well, but couldn't get into the end zone. James Conner, 17 carries, 57 yards with an ugly yards per carry clip. Melvin Gordon, 11 for 46. And Phillip Lindsay with a lone touchdown for the Denver Broncos. Receiving-wise, very low game for both teams. Very defensive game. Deontay Johnson, 6 for 66, leading both teams. Other than that, very quiet for both guys. Juju Smith-Schuster with a game-winning touchdown in the fourth quarter for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Other than that, Josie Jewell with 10 tackles, leading both teams, and Von Miller with 9 right behind him. Other than that, 3 sacks for Von Miller, 2 for Bradley Chubb. They went disappearing last week, showed up this week, and made a difference. A sack and a half for TJ Watt, half a sack for Josie Jewell, Alexander Johnson, and Terrell Edmonds. Pick-wise, like I said, both quarterbacks just did not turn the ball over, but they just weren't aggressive enough to get into the end zone either. Chris Bodwell with the field goal that definitely made the difference, and Brandon McManus missing his long field goal attempt, which would have put this game in overtime. So Denver, just very close games, just not getting the job done. Offensively, they are stagnant. Hopefully they'll be able to turn things over. I mean, very easy division in my opinion. So let's see if they get the job done in further weeks to come. As we go here, retire snags of the LA Rams taking on Slash. 21R, the Philadelphia Eagles. 49-28 final score here in Lincoln Financial Field. At halftime, 17-14. Rams are up by 3. Looks to be close, right? Wrong. Absolutely blew them out in the second half. I mean, 18 points in the fourth quarter. Eagles kind of gave up at that point. Teddy Bridgewater threw 5 picks last week. Hey, I'm going to throw 5 touchdowns this week. 340, 5 touchdowns in the INT. 31 of 48. Absolutely on one. Drew Brees, 311, 4 touchdowns, 3 INTs coming over from the New Orleans Saints. And the Jalen Hurts trade, 25 of 34. CMC, big. I mean, if you look at the Rams roster, it looks like they have a mutt team with all the trades they made. They got rid of Donald, I'm pretty sure. They got rid of Ramsey, a lot of guys. CMC, $103 and a touchdown. Other than that, Miles Sanders boxed in this one. Marquise Goodwin, of course, gonna get his 8 catches, $107 and a touchdown. Zach Ertz, 91 for 2. Devontae Adams, 7 for 91. Josh Reynolds, 6 for 88 and a touchdown as well. Cooper Kupp for 71. And CMC getting it done through the air as well with 2 touchdowns. Other than that, sack-wise, no sacks in this one. No pressure on both quarterbacks. But Darius Slay, Terrell Burgess, Nick Scott, and John Johnson, all with picks as well. Let's see. Big win on the road for the LA Rams. Devin 3-6 Atlanta Falcons, big statement win over the Seattle Week 1. They go in here against Dallas, who just won Defensive Player of the Week last week with Marcus Peters. And Dallas kind of dropped the ball on this one. 45-31 final score here is Atlanta looks to be a force to be reckoned with. 45-31, dropping 17 in the first, 14 in the fourth. So you go here to the stat department. Matt Ryan, 274, 4 touchdowns, 0 picks. Colin Kaepernick, 355, 2 touchdowns, 3 INTs as well. Todd Gurley just eating somehow. 16 carries, $173, 2 touchdowns. And Zeke Elliott getting to the end zone as well with 2 touchdowns. Adam Thielen coming over in the Amari Cooper trade, 4 for $119 and 2 touchdowns. Hayden Hurst, 3 for 82. Russell Gage, 3 for 72 and a touchdown. Manuel Hall getting to the end zone as well as Julio Jones with 2 and Calvin Ridley. Other than that, Montez Sweat with a single sack in this one for both teams. DeMonte Casey, AJ Terrell, and Keanu O'Neal just making life miserable for Colin Kaepernick. Other than that, big statement win for the Atlanta Falcons. Another team to be put on notice in the NFC playoff picture come late December. Other than that, Perk taking on Gakwe, defending Lambeau Field. 24-14 here. This was supposed to be a forced win. I guess Gakwe conceded, or he lagged out, lost all the stats here. So we're not going to go into the stats here. This was a forced win game for Perk. As we go to Indianapolis, Week 1 victory of the Jacksonville Jaguars as they look to keep things going. As Minnesota Vikings just could not keep pace with this high-power offense with Phillip Rivers and Paris Campbell leading the way. 41-24 final score here in Indianapolis. Phillip Rivers, 204, 2 touchdowns, 2 INTs. As Kirk Cousins thrown 5 picks for 2 touchdowns, 257. Not a pretty game for the Michigan State native. Jonathan Taylor, 9 for 55 in the tutty. Nyheim Hines getting some work as well as Marlon Mack, of all people, getting a goal line carry. Other than that, I mean, yeah, Kamara just was not used properly in this one. Sammy Watkins, 3 for $103 and a touchdown coming over in a Kansas City trade. Michael Thomas, 2 for 73 and a touchdown. Nyheim Hines getting some work done through the air. Paris Campbell went off for 200 yards and 4 touchdowns last week. This week was kind of bottled up. 3 for 51. Trey Burton, T.Y. Hilton, all with touchdowns as well. Other than that, I mean, sack-wise, Eric Wilson, Darius Leonard, and Danielle Hunter. Malik Hooker with 3 picks as well. Tavon Wilson, Harrison Smith, and Jeff Gladney, all with picks in this one for either team, as well as Tavon Wilson with the lone defensive touchdown. Big victory for the Indianapolis Colts as they go to 2-0 in the AFC. Let's see here. Just a couple more games. We're gonna bang these things out. Rip Hunter is on a 6-week injury. Jesus Christ, that sucks. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, if you're in the playoff picture, he'll be a big addition. Get to our game. Hey, screw you, pal. I'm gonna take as long as possible because I don't want to dive into my game. Okay. Lethal THF of the Buffalo Bills takes on Exotic Viper YouTube of the Miami Dolphins here. And this game was a little bit controversial here, but they were able to play again. And Buffalo closing out on the road in Miami, 15 points in the fourth quarter, getting in the victory, 25-17. Josh Allen, a $168 and not a touchdown, picks, no passing touchdowns whatsoever from either team in this one. As Ryan Fitzpatrick, 88 yards, 2 picks. Tua was seemingly benched. He was either benched or hurt, was surprising. 57 yards and 2 picks as well. So the quarterback change definitely didn't help their case in Miami, but Matt Breida just doing Matt Breida things. Big performance in week 1. Even better performance in week 2, 14 carries, a buck 80, 2 touchdowns. Zach Moss with a goal line carry, as well as TJ Yeldon. Jakeem Grant, 4 for 69. And like I said, not a big passing performance whatsoever. Jakeem Grant leading the way in receiving yards, as well as Matt Breida leading the way reception-wise for either team. Go here, Jerome Baker, Matt Milano leading the way in tackles, as well as David Gotcha, Jerry Hughes with 3 sacks, Christian Wilkins with 2, Trent Murphy, and Kyle Van Noy, all with sacks in this one, as both quarterbacks were just under pressure the entire game. Micah Hyde with 2 picks, Tremaine Edmonds, Nick Needham, and Tre'Davious White, all with picks as well. But what made the difference with Tremaine Edmonds with the lone defensive touchdown in this one? Yeah, big victory on the road, 4th quarter comeback for the Buffalo Bills. Another forced one victory for King John. I'm pretty sure he would have destroyed the Jets, but 27-10 victory for the San Francisco 49ers. As we go here to Arizona, as Comet family of the Washington football team takes on, I'm lagging, swear to God, of the Arizona Cardinals. Very close game here, halftime, 14-14, dead apiece. As we go here into the 4th quarter, 28-28, dead apiece. But the lone field goal, the game-winning field goal from Washington football team is what made the difference. As you see here in the box score, just offensively outgained Arizona the entire game. Surprising that Arizona was able to keep up the entire way. Much better game from the 6-pick game he just had last week. Kyler Murray, 4 touchdowns, 2 INTs, 15 to 24, 2 for 96. Very pretty game from him. But Dak Prescott, 3 of 79, 3 touchdowns, 3 INTs. Despite the ugly effort, he's able to get his team in the field goal range late in the 4th quarter and get the job done. 18 carries, 66 yards and a touchdown, and not a single rushing attempt for the Arizona Cardinals. Kind of suspect there. You gotta balance. You gotta have a balanced approach. If you're just pass, you're too predictable. I just threw too many picks. That's why Cards was able to stay in it. Okay. How many picks? Yeah, you threw 3 picks, didn't you? Okay. Yeah, I mean, you got 3 touchdowns, you know what I mean? You got 34 or 43, so you're pretty accurate with most of your attempts. Just the ones that were incomplete, majority of them were picks. But, yeah, like I said, he didn't have a run game whatsoever. That's what really made the difference. Curtis Samuel, 4 catches, 206, and 2 touchdowns to the crib. But Amari Cooper, big game for him. 11 catches, a buck 32. Antonio Gibson, 9 catches, 82 yards, getting it done on the ground as well as through the air. Steven Sims, 76 to the crib as well. Logan Thompson with 71. D-Hop, only 1 catch, 54 yards. Definitely could have used him more in this one. Jeff Smith, 2 touchdowns as well. Kyle Rudolph and Max Williams. Everyone seemingly getting to the end zone. Sack-wise, Jonathan Allen, Jordan Phillips, and Roquan Smith, all with sacks as well. Jalen Thompson, Hassan Reddick, surprisingly. Chandler Jones, Kendall Fuller, and Jimmy Moreland, all with picks in this one. As well as the 2 defensive touchdowns for either team, Jalen Thompson and Jimmy Moreland. So, very good overall game for both teams. I would have loved to see this game. And luckily, Dustin Hopkins nails the game-winning field goal in the 4th quarter as he missed his lone other attempt as well. Very heartfelt victory for Washington football team as they're 2-0 first 2 weeks of this season. Wow. Not sure what happened here, but absolute shootout. Not sure you could call this one a blowout, but wow. 35-66 as Chargers just absolutely go off at home against the defending Super Bowl champions. We'll dive into the stats here real quick. Jesus Christ. I mean, yeah, 14-17, 14-21. It sounds like someone's social security number, as the box score indicates for the LA Chargers. 66 points in total. I mean, Justin Herbert, 280, 2 touchdowns, 3 picks. But Mahomes, I mean, it's always bad when you see really, really good players not being used correctly. But 387, 4 touchdowns, and 9 picks. I mean, that's the second 9 interception game this season. Hopefully we don't see many of those. But Jesus Christ, I mean, something's got to change in Kansas City. Joshua Kelly, 8 for 62 and 2 touchdowns. Herbert with a rushing touchdown, surprisingly. Kenny Stills, and Mike Williams, all with rushing touchdowns. Kind of crazy. Allen Robinson, 5 for 141, 2 touchdowns. Keenan Allen, 5 for a buck 15 and a tutty. Kelsey, 9 for a buck 11. Demarcus Robinson with 74 and a touchdown, as well as Ricky Seals Jr. What the fuck's wrong with me? Ricky Seals Jones and Joshua Kelly, all with touchdowns as well. Tony Jefferson leading the way in tackles for both teams. Joey Bosa leading the way in sacks for either team. Melvin Ingram and Alex Okafor with sacks as well. Derwin James Jr., Kenneth Murray Jr., Chris Harris Jr., a lot of juniors in this one. L'Jarius Sneed, Nazir Adderley, Tyrann Mathieu, the Honey Badger, and Chris Cooper, all with picks in this one. Defensively, Kenneth Murray Jr. and Chris Harris Jr. getting it done, getting into the end zone. But yeah, absolute blowout. I mean, Kansas City, like I said in week 1, most disappointing team through the first 2 weeks of the season. Make it 3. We'll get into week 3 when I do the next recap. But Jesus Christ, I mean, Kansas City has to change. Alright, didn't really want to get into this one, so I might just speed right on through. Boogie by Jay, which is me, of the Baltimore Ravens, takes on Is C-Bop YouTube of the Houston Texans. And might I say, before I take this swig of water real quick. Okay. Yeah, very good user. He's not to be fucked with. Very, very good defensively. I mean, offensively, I felt like I could have contained him. But defensively, I kind of shot myself in the foot this game. As I conceded, I'm not an asshole. I just don't close app. I let him get his stats. I conceded. Very good game on his effort. I'm not going to take credit away from the man. As you see here, 35-13. I did get smoked. This is a game where I didn't want to play. Because I don't know how you guys go about it. But when I have that feeling where I don't feel like playing, it's because I know I'm going to get blown out. I'm just not in the mood to play. I know I'm going to get blown out. So I don't want to play. But I was like, fuck it, I'll play anyway. And yeah, I got smoked, man. It is what it is. We all dropped goose eggs. And hopefully this is the only one this season for me. Lamar Jackson won Player of the Week last week. Obviously, probably the worst performance this week. 93 yards, a touchdown, 5 INTs. I was just throwing in the traffic the entire game, man. Deshaun Watson, 269, 3 touchdowns, 2 picks in just a half of play. Other than that, Deshaun Watson getting to the end zone as well. Couldn't get anything going on the ground. Brendan Cooks, 2 for a $108 and 2 touchdowns. Hollywood, 2 for 81 and a touchdown. Fuller for 69, Fells for 67. Kalfani Muhammad with a receiving touchdown as well. Other than that, I mean, that's pretty much all she wrote. I don't think there was any defensive touchdowns. Was there? No, matter of fact, there was. He took one to the crib. Keon Croissant, J.J. Watt with a sacks, Jacob Martin, and Brandon Dunn with half a sack as well. But, yeah, Jesus Christ. I did not want to go through this. Keon Croissant, Patrick Queen, Justin Reed, Vernon Hargreaves, Earl Thomas, Jimmy Smith, and Gary Conley, all with picks in this one. As for defensive touchdowns, Jimmy Smith was able to take one to the crib, but Justin Reed housed it as well. Yeah, man, I mean, like I said, I give him his credit. Absolutely smoked my boots. Keep an eye out for the Houston Texans, man. They're not to be fucked with. Recon's Pain of the New England Patriots taking on Alter Chaos. I mean, they played this game, but they kind of lagged out. So it was a forced win. New England Patriots take it as Seattle goes to 0-2 on the season. As Patriots much needed victory as they go 1-1. Yeah, man, for sure. Good game, bro. Good game. I give you credit. I'm not gonna talk shit. I can't talk shit. I'm seeing. I just got bounced back. Hopefully we see each other in the playoffs. You know. I will say that I will make the playoffs. There's no way I'm missing the fucking playoffs. Absolutely no way. Hunter JC of the New Orleans Saints taking on Is Decisive of the Las Vegas Raiders in a shootout. I believe this was this was game of the week for week 2, and boy, did Braden pick a good one. I won't either. Oh no, trust me. I know, bro. You're definitely gonna make it. 47-49. I mean, let's see what happened here. I mean, yeah, Saints pretty much decisive have had the game in the bag entering the fourth quarter. Saints tried to stage a late game comeback with 20 points, but they were just 2 points short. I mean, heading into halftime, 24-21. Saints up. Saints were up at halftime, but Vegas dropping 21 in the third quarter, and that's what made the difference. He says, Slide Watson. Nah, fuck you, pals. No, fuck you. You got Money Mitch over there. You're talking big shit about him. Hell no. You stick with Trubisky. Derek Carr, 368, 4 touchdowns, 4 INTs. Pretty so-so game from him, but Jalen Hurts struggled. 3 touchdowns, 6 INTs, 354 in his first start with the New Orleans Saints. Other than that, Jason Huntley, surprisingly, he's using Huntley over Josh Jacobs, who is now over in Tennessee now as a backup to Derrick Henry. 18 carries, a $105 and a touchdown for him. A.J. Dillon, 2 for 47. Don't know how that happened, but Jalen Hurts, let's see here, 3 touchdowns through the air, 3 touchdowns on the ground. Let's see here, Dallas Goedert coming over in the Jalen Hurts trade as well. 7 catches, a $197 and a touchdown. Henry Ruggs, a $130 and a tutty. T-Mac, a $128 and a tutty. Darren Waller, a $109 and a tutty. MVS, 73 for a touchdown, as well as Jason Huntley and Jason Witten, of all people. Other than that, sack-wise, I mean, Grandal Pitt and Marcus Davenport with 2 apiece. Jonathan Abram, Cameron Jordan, and as well as pick department, Jonathan Abram, eating sack-wise and interception-wise. Isaiah Simmons with 2 apiece as well. Isaiah Johnson, Grant Haley, Desmond King, Cornell Armstrong, and Elijah Campbell. I'm guessing there's got to be defensive touchdowns, of course. Cornell Armstrong and Jonathan Abram, 2 defensive touchdowns, which definitely made the difference in the 2-point victory for the Las Vegas Raiders. Very hard-fought game. I would have loved to watch this game on stream, but yeah. As we go here, take a look at the scores. I'm not gonna talk too much shit because I'm gonna save all this for the next recap. But we see here, Jags take the victory. Wow, the Giants fixing Daniel Jones turnover problems, upsetting King John 305. Not sure what happened here. Not sure what happened there, but Giants able to pull off an upset in week 2. Let's see here. Wow. Steelers stagnant through the first 2 weeks, but a very close game with Houston. I mean, I should feel embarrassed. Other than that, let's see here. We're just gonna, give you a forced one right there, my guy. Decisive, just wow. Dropping 49 last week, dropping 65 this week. Shootout in Foxborough. Tennessee dropping 49. Let's see here. I think they're playing right now. Since I started before this recap, I think they're in the middle of a game. Buffalo with the victory. Snow Machine, low scoring game in Atlanta, but he was able to pull off the upset. Chargers dropping 34. Gakwe dropping 49 with the Lions. Bucks dropping 29. Saints 41-14. Perk, I'm gonna kill you for this, bro. I'm gonna kill you for this, bro. You got a mega team. You got a fucking mutt squad. You getting blown out by JC? What happened? You said for the Texans game, for the Texans and Steelers, it was overtime with 4 seconds left, and I was down 3, and I threw a 25-yard touchdown. I was not gonna. Yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you. That's ballsy. I don't like going for ties too, man. If it was like fourth quarter, fuck that. I'm not going to kick a field goal tie. And then, of course, the blowout of the week, 84-14 over the Kansas City Chiefs. Don't mean to flex, but I choked, though. I mean, you pulled out, man. You pulled out the W, so, I mean, this nothing to really complain about. But, I mean, a dub's a dub, bro. A dub's a dub. As we go here, we're just going to round out the standings through the first 2 weeks. Yeah, as you see here, I'm going to go through top 10 teams so far in the NFL. Bengals, top of the league, but we don't have a user. So like I said, if you have a very active, committed user who's not toxic, who's not a cheater, who's gonna abide by the rules, you know what I'm saying? Feel free to invite them. You know what I'm saying? Bengals are undefeated right now at 2-0. Falcons 2-1, Bills 3-0, Packers 2-1, Bears 3-0, Washington football team and Colts 2-0, Texans 3-0, Niners 2-1, and Raiders 3-0 as well. Yeah, of course, yeah, because people are still playing the games. So sort by top W's. Shut the fuck up. You just You just want to be at the top, don't you, Logan? Bills, Bears, Texans, Raiders, all 3-0, but Bengals right in the midst of things. Of course, rounding out the top 5. Falcons, Packers 2-1, Washington football team, Colts, and Niners, all with 2 victories apiece. As well, there's a plethora of other teams 2-1 who are still in the race, but yeah. Jags not making playoffs. Go suck a dick, pal. All right. I didn't say you're not making playoffs. I'm just saying your roster isn't like, oh my god. You know what I mean? 2-1 Jags, Chargers, plethora of teams. I'm just gonna list off here that 2-1, including myself, Titans, Bucks, Giants, and as we get to the lower half of the league here, who has struggled through the first 3 weeks, Steelers at 1-2, Rams at 1-2, Cowboys at 1-1, Pats, Dolphins, Lions, all at 1-2. Other than that, I mean, all the teams without victories so far: Jets, Cardinals, Vikings, Seahawks, Panthers, Eagles, Chiefs, Browns, and the Denver Broncos, all without victories in the first 3 weeks so far. We'll see which one gets their first victory. Hopefully nobody goes defeated this year. I don't want to see a 0-16 team, but like I said, it's very, very possible. Anything's possible. So yeah, I ain't praying for nobody's downfall, but you know, shit can happen. But like I said, man, thank you guys for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button, Logan Booten. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the subscribe button, man. Hit the little bell for the notifications, the little dings. You know what I'm saying? I drop streams, live recap if you want to be in tune with the league. I play other shit too. So support, show some love, my guy. Subscribe goes a long way. I do this shit for fun. Stay tuned, man. This league ain't going nowhere, bro. This league ain't going nowhere. So Envy, you go suck a dick, pal. I don't want to hear none of your negativity. Oh, Braden's league always end in week 10. Go suck a dick with that negativity, man. Jay's the next bachelor. Not sure what that means. But knowing it's you, Braden, hopefully it's not nothing gay. So yeah. On that note, man, like I said, thank you guys for tuning in. By the time we come back to the next recap, I will dive into the stats. So don't worry about that. We covered the standings. We covered all. Yeah, we covered all the game through weeks 1 and 2. Week 3, I'll get into the next recap, and then for next recap, I'll do predictions as well. So stay tuned for that. The show, The Bachelor. I know the Bachelor. Jay about to get the y'all. I'm out, man.